Good afternoon, my beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth Bioman, and welcome back to Unearthing Shadows Life. I'm just going to get into the collective reading, and I'm going to be using the Carolinese archetype cards to find out what themes we're running with. One card has already fallen out, so I am just asking for a few more for the collective. Perfect. Okay. The first card that popped out was the Hedonist. So the light attributes are inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. And the shadow attributes are pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. So this goes right along with the topics that I've been bringing up, and also like being a hedonist, being out there and for everyone to see and indulging in pleasures, but not by way of addiction, by way of, in the light attributes, by way of enjoying your life and your creative centers and understanding how that pertains to your life in general. Again, the shadow attributes is more of the addiction side of kind of sacrificing your health for enjoying the pleasures of life. So, I mean, being a hedonist is out there with your pleasure centers. It's your creative energy. It's your sacral chakra. So, let me sit up higher. Excuse me. Okay, so the second one that comes out is dilettante, which is the light attributes are delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. The shadow attributes are pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So kind of like the shadow attributes is you pretending you know things on a deeper level when, you know, if you claim to be a wise man, it surely means you do not know. And the light attributes is, again, that sacral chakra, that this is like, look at the colors. They're red and orangey. They're the sacral chakra, your expression, your creative centers, you're moving through it all, body, mind, and soul, enjoying your artistic expression, and really just putting yourself out there. So if you're dealing with like relationships of people, places, or things, anything having to do, again, this reading is timeless. I'm being told to clarify that through and through, that whenever this reading finds you, it's meant to be. But it's being so much in your light center that you're not allowing the things of ego, in a sense. You're not doing it for superficial means. And I feel like there are many people in relationships right now that you know it's kind of not going anywhere, right? But for some odd reason, you can't let go. And I feel like that is the universe's way of telling you to kind of jump into your artistic self and your creative center, that this energy needs to be played in that manner instead of that wanting of desire. And then the third card that popped out is Mediator. So the light attributes are the gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, respect for both sides of an argument. And the shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. So I also feel like there's a lot out there, especially what happened to me this morning. I prayed for something and it came in within 5 minutes. The information came in via a phone call and it just pointed me in the direction that I needed to be in. And here I am, like posting videos and giving you guys a collective reading. So it's stepping into your power in the light attributes of negotiating what it is that you want. I said that, like, we're nearing the 8-8 portal, so this is big manifestation. So what do you want? What makes you happy? What makes your soul sing? What sets you on fire? You know, you have this creative energy, putting yourself out there, mind, body, heart, and soul, right? And doing it without superficial pursuits. This is meant to be, it's coming in such a way that it's going to hit you in all these centers. And then speaking for what you need, mediating for yourself, having the boundaries enough to say, like, that doesn't serve me. I don't want to do that. Because once you make a decision of which path you're going on, the rest of it just unfolds for you. So if you're sitting there and you're not quite sure on what you're doing, you know, take a minute, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, ground yourself. Remember, I told you that grounding exercise. Those 4 just popped out. So I will pick those up. That's the next one. I'll pick those up as we go. But checking in with yourself, your center, and asking for the guidance, grounding yourself, throwing those roots down, wrapping around the center of the earth and coming up and just grounding and being in your center. And asking, what is for my highest and best? Again, you can use that exercise I taught you of closing your eyes and putting your hands over your solar plexus and asking yourself what is for your highest and best and feeling your body move with it. So it's beautiful. These are beautiful messages. The 4th card that comes out is Lover. So the light attributes are great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something, and the shadow attributes of obsessive passion that harms others or self-destructive devotion. So the shadow aspect in this is more, I almost get like a narcissistic vibe, like someone who is thriving off that passion of the flesh to make their life better, and feeding that lower vibrational self, whether it be through drugs and sex and any lower vibe aspects. Not that sex is a lower vibe by any means. It is a very beautiful thing. I feel like our culture just sways it much differently now. So when these come in, it sits you in your, again, this color is right along with the Hedonist, samesies. That creative center, that sacral chakra energy, that putting yourself out there, hedonistic and inspiring and getting the good of life, having the great passion and the light attributes of Lover, of devotion and understanding, that it comes without ego, like you're loving something or someone without conditions, with knowing that this is secure and where it's going. And then the shadow attributes is wanting that obsession and passion in a way that you don't really care how it ends up, as long as your needs are met, as long as that fire inside of you is quenched. But is the fire burning at the right end, is what you need to ask yourself. Okay, the last 3, the first one is Bully. So the light attributes highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Wow, this goes right along with the Know Your Fears card. The shadow attributes are concealing deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. So allowing your fears to tap in, the shadow aspect is allowing your fears to tap into that, like, lower vibration, whatever serves me. My fears are gonna trigger my anger, and sitting with that long enough, knowing that your anger is actually your own grief. But the light attributes are highlighting the shadow aspects of the bully, where it stands in you, and how to confront the inner fears that take charge of your life. Remember, I've been talking about death, I've been talking about addiction, I've been talking about how death can get in your way of actually living. So this change, this passion, this understanding what it means to embrace your shadow and your light, which is what Unearthing Shadows Light is all about. It's pulling the darkness and the shadowy sides of yourself into your being, knowing it, bringing it to the forefront, and integrating it into the light. We all have duality. We all have that darkness and that light, and you cannot get rid of your darkness. You can shun it away, you can try and sweep it under the rug, but more often than not, it is going to come to the forefront, and it's going to come bite you in the ass. It will make itself precedent and known in your life. And if you can be conscious of that, of knowing where it's coming from, your perception shifts and big changes can occur. The last two cards, second to last, is the Fool. So in the tarot deck, the Fool is card 0, where he's literally walking with the stick and the little baggie like hanging off of his stick, and he's walking off the cliff with his dogs right next to him, and his head's turned up, and he's walking off the cliff in blind faith, knowing that no matter what this leap is, he's going to be okay. It's trusting yourself. So the light attributes of the Fool are fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. And the shadow attributes are using humor to wound rather than liberate denial of your emotional truth. So understanding that there's laughter and a light side to all of the dark things. It's a shift of perception, right? You're going through a shitty time. I deal with things with bad humor, right? So, something bad's going on in my life, and I'm like, oh shit, and I make a joke about it, because what else can I do? When you laugh it into existence, it immediately changes that vibration, and knowing that you're not doing it to hurt yourself or others, and not being in the shadow aspect of denying your emotional truth. Like you're in the shadow aspect, you're making fun of things or people or places that trigger something within you. And you need to be very, very aware that when these things come up, it's mainly at the forefront for yourself. So fearlessly revealing who you are at your core, at your emotional center. Emotions are just energy in motion, and we need to understand that when they come in, we don't need to attach to them. We can sit on the sidelines and watch it. It's almost like a rope that kind of comes down, right? And all of these things are you're seeing in this wave, in this circle, in this corkscrew of life. Whether it be reaching out for addictions, whether it being angry at how things came to be, it's only gonna tag itself in when you reach out to it and immerse yourself in it. Try viewing it on the outskirts. Try doing it so your emotions aren't so heavy. I know it's easier said than done, but this is what we're being asked to do. The last card that had fallen out is Messiah. So the light attributes are serving humanity with humility. And the shadow attributes are exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. We are nothing and everything in this life. You need to be willing to go and serve yourself at the forefront of serving humanity. Because as you go inward and you be that Messiah for yourself, and you be that understanding for yourself, you know that you're not the only one. You're not sitting here trying to preach to others. You're knowing that you're doing the best that you can with what you have. Instead of feeding yourself and others lies and exaggerating what comes and goes. You know, and we often too in this life, we exaggerate our fears. Something comes in and it's too much to handle, and you know, it feels too much. And then we realize that in 5-10 years and a year from now, in 5 minutes from now, maybe what you were obsessing over that was going on isn't so much of a detriment. It's more of a wayfinder. It's presenting itself to show you where you're going, what your next step is. So I continue to ask for all to be kind to yourself, to love yourselves through and through, to make good choices, whatever that means to you. And know when the emotions surface, you have to ride the wave. You have to be more like the tide in the ocean. You know, don't be for or against, but rather allow yourself to move through it. If you try and be 100% for it, then you have these expectations as that's where it needs to be. When you try to be against it, it's having the expectations that that's where it's meant to be. Instead of letting go and allowing it to come in the way that it needs to. Allowing it to move. Just watching it on the sidelines come in. You don't have to attach to it. You can just observe. Be that observer. Be that silent observer for a few moments in your life. Try to understand what things are showing you. So as my dogs are going crazy, I'm going to end this reading. Namaste to all. Please enjoy your day. Be kind. Love yourself as deeply as you absolutely can. And that love will just continue to radiate. Thank you so much.